Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about how do you prepare for a listing presentation. So let's start from the very basic. I'm assuming you already have a listing appointment. Someone who's interested in selling agree for you to come out and talk to them and hopefully take this listing, right? That's the idea. You're not going there for anything else other than if they want to sell, you want to be able to list their property. The first thing you need to do, and you need to do this for every single appointment you go on, is ask some questions before you go meet with them. Why should you do that? Because these questions you ask, which we call, and I call them pre-qualifying questions, are gonna help you understand what the seller's goals are, what is it that they're looking for in the agent they hire, if they're talking to other agents, what are they thinking about, and all of this information is gonna help you show up to the appointment feeling more confident, better prepared. I don't know about you. I don't like walking into situations having no clue what's going on, especially when you're a brand new agent. I see there's some trainers and coaches and people giving advice to real estate agents out there that say, no, when you're brand new, don't worry about pre-qualifying, just go meet with them. Why would you want to do that? Don't you want to start doing things from the beginning of your real estate career in the most effective way, in the most professional way possible? Sure, there's a learning curve, and every day of your real estate career, you're going to learn and get better. But pre-qualifying your appointments, it's not something that you're going to start doing once you are selling, 20, 30, 50, 100 homes a year. No, you start from day one. Why? Because that's what professionals do. All professionals do that. So do you want to act like an amateur just because you're new to real estate? Yeah, you may not have a lot of confidence. You may not know what you're doing, but you don't want to act like an amateur. You want to act as professional as possible. And professionals, they don't walk into a consultation, whether it's a doctor or an attorney or whatever. They don't walk in and just tell you what they're gonna do, like how they're gonna fix the problem. Oh, you have a headache? Great, let's do brain surgery tomorrow morning. Like, how quickly do you run out of that doctor's office? Before they figure out what the treatment is, they ask you a lot of questions. Where exactly does it hurt? How often do you feel this pain? How long have you had this pain for? Have you taken anything for it? Whatever else, right? They're going to ask you a lot of questions. Professionals do that. And when you think about it, you as a patient on the receiving end of these questions, that makes you feel good. You're like, okay, well, this doctor is interested. They're making sure that they understand the problem here before they offer a solution. It's the same thing. A listing presentation, yes, you have a certain script, you use a sequence of events, things that happen once you get there. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute, but it's tailored in some cases to the seller's needs and what they're looking for and how they're looking to get things done. And you as the agent, you need to be prepared. If they're talking to other agents, wouldn't you want to know that? Would you prefer to find out when you get there? I want to know ahead of time. And I want you to think about this. That's one of the questions, right? If they're going to be ready to list the property with you, and there are questions that lead to, are you thinking of interviewing other agents? Every single successful business on this planet, they know exactly what, I'm going to say, competitors do, even though I don't believe in competition. If you're worried about a competitor, you already lost to that competitor, but that's an entirely different conversation. So I'm putting competitors in quotes, but every single successful business, they know. You don't think Coca-Cola knows what Pepsi is doing? And every business is like that. Why? Because it helps them sell their product or services in a way that causes the consumer to want to deal with them. It helps them even how to market their products and services, and what's important to the customer that they need to make sure that they offer. Bottom line, pre-qualifying is critical. My pre-qualifying script is actually pretty short. Some of them are extremely long, and I've heard over the years, because I've been coaching real estate agents for 15 years, oh, I don't like pre-qualifying. People feel like, why are you asking me all these questions? The problem is not the question. The problem is how you're asking these questions. If you ask like you're reading a script and you sound scripted and you sound weird, yeah, people are not going to want to answer your questions. But if you practice every day and you learn how to ask these questions on the script in a conversational manner, super powerful. And it helps you prepare and not be blindsided when you show up to the appointment and they give you some objection, you had no idea what was coming. So you pre-qualify the appointment. Yes? You're going to prepare a market analysis very carefully. I always looked for 4 similar homes that are currently for sale, preferably right in their neighborhood. Similar. You look and you compare the number of bedrooms, the number of baths, the square footage, and then you find 4 recent sales in the last 6 months. Those are your actives and your solds, and that's going to make up the market analysis, which is going to be part of what you're going to go through with the seller to help him understand what the property needs to be priced at in order to sell. That's the last thing you do on the listing presentation is price. You prepare your market analysis. What else are you going to do? Before you get to the house, you're going to fill out the listing agreement, any disclosures. You're going to bring a seller's disclosure. Your broker should be able to help you with all of the paperwork that is required for you to bring to listing appointments. The bottom line is that you need to bring this ready to sign. You don't just bring a bunch of papers thrown in your briefcase and then you're like, oh, well, you take the paper out and you start writing and you don't look prepared. All of the paperwork needs to be organized. You want to put everything inside a folder. Then you want to make sure you look presentable. Buy a suit. Buy something that makes you look professional. Make sure your whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Your hair is put together. If you're a woman, you can wear makeup. What an advantage. Go ahead and, light makeup. Make sure you look clean and you look presentable. Yes? Your car is clean. Doesn't have to be new, but first impressions, we know, are critical. You don't have a second chance to make a first impression. And people, when you walk into a seller's home, I believe the number one thing that they're looking for in the agent, they're sizing you up from the minute you walk through that door. Actually, sometimes they're sizing you up when you're still out in the street parking the car. They're already looking out the window and they're checking you out and seeing what is your demeanor. Do you seem confident? Do you walk with your shoulders back? Do you have a smile on your face? Because ultimately, the number one thing they're looking for is, does this agent make me feel confident that they can sell my home, sell it for the most money possible in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle? Do they make me feel confident that they know what they're doing and they're going to do the very best they can so that I can protect my equity and sell this home for the most money? No matter what you think they're looking for, that's the number one thing they're looking for. And everything about how you show up is going to help them make that decision. What you say, what you look like, your presence, your demeanor. So make sure that you're well prepared. Show up early. Never be late to a listing appointment. That's like starting on the wrong foot, like, period, because it shows that you don't value someone's time. So leave early. Make sure you get to the house. I used to, especially in the beginning of my real estate career, and even after I was selling a lot of homes, if I was going into a listing presentation for a property in an area where I didn't know the area very well, I'd show up 15 minutes early and I drive by the area. I would stop, and I recommend you do that, in front of every single one of the active listings and closed sales in my market analysis, so I can make visual contact with the home. I've never been in this area. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's the yellow house on the corner or of Main Street and First. Okay, you speak more confidently. You're going to walk into that appointment feeling better prepared if you just drive through the neighborhood and make visual contact to the comparables in your market analysis. Now you show up confident. You knock on the door. You have a smile on your face, shoulders back. You have a firm handshake. These are all things, again, they're paying attention to everything. Consciously and subconsciously, they're picking up signals of, like, does this agent make me feel confident? You're going to come in. You're going to ask them to quickly show you around the house. While they're doing that, you can ask some questions about, oh, so you told me over the phone that you're moving to Dallas and you are moving there because of a job transfer and you want to be there in the next 3 months, whatever they told you. Like, you can start some conversation about it. You should make some brief notes while you're walking through the house to show them you're interested, ask any questions. Of course, you could, this shouldn't take too long, maybe 5 minutes, maybe less than that, okay? And then if you need to, obviously, after you take the listing, you can do another walkthrough and ask additional questions. You're gonna get settled at kitchen counter, kitchen table. I always recommend that you, as the agent, stand up on your listing presentation. Seller sits down, you stand up. Why is that? Because it puts you in a position of authority. A teacher in front of a classroom, they're standing, the students are sitting. There's so many examples, presenters, lecturers. It's a position of authority. I'm the authority here. I know what I'm doing. Doesn't mean you have to be nasty or rude or cocky. No, it's just you're the expert. What are you going to talk to them about? First thing, just again, if you already confirm where they're moving to and motivation, blah, blah, great. I'm giving you in chunks here, right? The next thing you're going to do is, if you have not, right, asked those questions, that's the first thing you do. And then you're going to talk to them about what is it that you do to market the property. How are you going to create exposure for this property? More demand equals more money. It's a law of economics. Your job is to create maximum demand, and you need to share with the seller how you're going to do that. Some of the things that every agent does, I don't know what you do, right? You put a sign in the yard, you put it all over the web, different, many websites, hundreds of websites. You're going to get professional photos. You may do some kind of video tour. You may do open houses. I don't know. I don't recommend it, but some agents like to do it. But what's going to really separate you from everybody else, because every agent does all these things, right? What is it that you do that other agents don't do, or certainly the majority, 99% of agents don't do? You prospect, lead generator, cold call every day, and you call all sorts of people. 20 to 30 people a day, Monday through Friday, looking for people who want to buy and sell. You use effective scripts and you cross-sell from all the people that you talk to. You contact top agents in the area. You're going to explain to the seller how you create exposure. That's number one, and what differentiates you from your competition. After you've gone through the marketing of the property, you're going to talk to the seller about the price. And now is when your market analysis is just one of the tools that you're going to use to help the seller understand how they need to price this property, but also having knowledge of market conditions. In the last couple of months, I've been making videos on articles about the real estate condition of the real estate market and what's happening and updates. You should be updated. That's why I'm making these videos, so you could be updated and you may be able to, when it's appropriate, not all of it, you're not there to lecture the seller, but some information might be useful for you in helping the seller understand how this property needs to be priced so it will sell quickly, because it is in the seller's best interest to sell it quickly. The homes that sit on the market the longest have the biggest list to sales price ratio gap. The ones that sell faster sell closest to asking price. Some homeowners think that I can just price it high and wait, I'm not in a hurry. Well, waiting is not going to make the price higher. It's your job to help them understand the price by providing evidence and well-prepared information so you can get this listing signed. Once you agree on a price, and you may have to handle some pricing objections, you have to ask them to actually sign the listing agreement. Oh, but I'm brand new. I remember when I was brand new, like I was scared of everything, just like some of you brand new might be. But if you don't ask them to sign the listing agreement, what would you expect? What did you go there for? Show them that you are an aggressive agent, because motivated sellers are looking for an aggressive agent. They're not looking for, well, what do you think? Wishy-washy, like, I'm not gonna ask. I don't think it's not what they're looking for. Someone who has to sell their house or wants to sell their house, they want an agent that's a go-getter. Show them that's who you are. And you show in many ways, but certainly in asking them to sign that listing agreement. I trust all this information was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell next to it so you know when we upload new videos. And I will see you soon.